you make of these numbers from DraftKings, the leading online sportsbook? This was a very confusing quarter. The company reported basically inline sales and earnings, with monthly unique paying customers coming in higher than expected, up 55% year over year, thanks in part to the acquisition of Jackpocket. It's a digital lottery ticket app. Also, because of Jackpocket, their average revenue per customer came in light. However, the real swing factor was the guidance. DraftKings had to trim its full-year forecast for 2024 because in the month of October, we got too many customer-friendly sports outcomes, meaning too many heavily favored football teams won their games. And that's why the stock got hit in after-hours trading. You know what? This is an opportunity because it's not a long-term problem. It's something that became very clear when DraftKings gave a super strong forecast for 2025, putting the company's growth, frankly, in very rarefied territory. That's why I'm not sweating the fact that a few more favorites than usual won last month, but don't take it from me. Let's dig deep with Jason Robins, the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of DraftKings, to learn more. Mr. Robins, welcome back to Mad Money.
Hey, good to talk to you again, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Well, excellent that you're here, Jason. I see a high-quality problem. Customers are winning too much. Isn't that kind of the big variable that short-term is not so good, but long-term for next year is just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe this quarter. I mean, we're obviously not forecasting anything other than neutral sport outcomes, but typically things, swing back and forth. And, really what we were excited about is we had a huge increase in handle in October. Revenue was actually down 20% because customers were winning, but handle was up 20%. So really excited about that, and I think we're going to have a really strong finish to the quarter and a really strong 2025.
Well, you're using an implication of a 31% year-over-year growth at the midpoints. That would be an extraordinary leap.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Rule of 40 is always our goal, and next year we should be well above that.
I only have enterprise software companies doing that level of growth with Rule of 40. How are you able to do that even without California, Florida, Texas being members of the DraftKings crowd next year?
Well, right now we're still super early in the development of the industry, and everything is growing. I mean, most of our states are still 2-3 years old. We have a few that are older, and some are even less. I mean, North Carolina just launched this year. Massachusetts and Ohio are still, only in their really in their first full year this year. So still a ton of growth, and I think really excited about. This is not factored into our guide because it just happened, but really excited about Missouri opening up too. That's the 18th largest state, just passed the ballot. That's about 2% of the population. So. Lots of, you're right, we don't have California, Texas, Florida yet, but obviously still some upside if we can get into any of those states as well.
Don't you have to believe that one day they come on? I mean, when I talk to people about them not being on it yet, they're shocked. They can't believe that there's anyone in this country that doesn't have DraftKings kinds of games. It is kind of shocking this day and age, isn't it?
I think so, but you have to remember it's still new. I mean, the Supreme Court only overturned the federal ban a little over 6 years ago, and it takes time for these things to go through all the state legislative processes. Take Texas as an example. Texas only meets every other year. So they've only actually met twice since the Supreme Court overturned it. So really, I think a lot of opportunity to get more done, and I think really California, Florida, Texas are big ones. Those collectively are 25-ish, or just under 25% of the population. All very different, but I think you're right that I would expect most states over the long term will have some form of legal sports betting, and hopefully we'll get those three.
All right, so I want to ask about whether you're now in more of a retention mode than an acquisition mode, if it's only just Missouri and North Carolina, and you have to defend your turf with really interesting, exciting games.
Acquisition has been the big surprise. I mean, it continues to just be way up here. I mean, so it comes back to what we were just talking about, how early it is in the industry. We only had one real big state launch this year in North Carolina, and then we had D.C., which is not a state, but, that launched in July. Other than that, no new state launches, and yet we're way up year over year on customer acquisition, and it's no sign of slowing down. So I just think we're at a very, important inflection point in the industry where national advertising and general awareness. To your point, I think most people assume that it's legal in most states now, if not all. And we're just seeing a lot of great growth. So yes, of course, retention is always the most important thing over the long term. That's why we always emphasize product, because product is what retains people. But I do think we're still very much in a heavy customer acquisition period in the industry. And if you look at kind of where we are from a revenue standpoint, we're actually way ahead of where we thought we'd be only at our last investor day. So I just think that continues to be the surprise, how much customer acquisition is on fire and just doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Well, does it matter at all that I'm an inveterate fantasy player, as you know, that I also have to play DFS, daily fantasy? The reason is because the injuries are terrible. And I have so much IR. I don't feel like I fall behind. I don't want to say I need action, but it's so much more exciting to be doing daily fantasy than just having one thing, your fantasy team go down. Does it matter? Does it matter that people realize, you know what, I got to have something else going on? My team does not have half the starters that it did 3 months ago.
I love daily fantasy for that reason and for other reasons too, but I got the same problem, Jim. I have so many people on the IR on my season-long teams right now, and it's nice as I go play all their backups in daily fantasy. I'm not paying enough attention to pick them up quickly enough. There's other people in my league doing that, but I can go play all the backups in daily fantasy on DraftKings at least.
All right, so I was with my daughter and her friend at the Eagles box this weekend, and I was trying to tell them, I said, listen, one of them did not have an account. So I said, you go on DraftKings right now. They'll be giving money away. There'll be all this, and you still offer some attractive propositions. But I think the days where you have to give all that money away, they seem to be gone. I didn't see the first touchdown by Mahomes kind of thing, or that will Saquon score. I don't see those anymore. Can you bring them back, or you don't need to?
No, we'll bring some. Right now, we've actually been very NBA focused with those types of promos because the season just started and we're about midway through NFL. But Jim, you asked for it. I'll make sure we get some of that.
Oh, because it's the most exciting. Look, I mean, I play my kids, as you know, and all my kids are addicted. And I shouldn't say addicted. I don't mean that. But they like the wrong games. You know why? They like the parlays. And they somehow think that a parlay is easy. Could you please tell people how hard it is to win on a parlay?
Well, you don't win as much, but when you win more. And, that's kind of why people like it because, when they win, they get a big multiple on their money. We see the same thing in daily fantasy. People prefer those big games where you have the huge prizes, even if they know they're competing against a lot more people and have less of a shot of winning because when they do win, it's a big one. And I think a lot of people, that's, the people who like parlay stuff, that's what they're playing for. They want a big win. They don't mind if they lose, more often because they're trying to get 3, 4, 5 combinations if they win 5 times as much when they win.
Well, I had a 3 tight end one 2 weeks ago that hit, but then I got one that was destroyed this weekend by A.J. Brown, man. Anyway, look, I love having you on.
You know who's been on fire on those, by the way? Your friend Dave Portnoy. He's already hit us.
He's done so well this year. I can't believe how well. Look, he's money and he shares everything, the losses and the wins. You got to give him credit. He always mentions when he has the losses.
I know, he does. He shares everything. But I joked with him, I was like, you go on the biggest winning streak of your career right after we do our deal together, and everything's on DraftKings. So,
well,
but lots of people tail him, and he's been doing well this year.
No, that's absolutely true. And not only that, but he had President Trump, which told me that he and Zuckerberg are getting along. That's how I knew to buy Meta. You can learn a lot from that guy. Anyway, I want to thank Jason Robins, DraftKings CEO. Congratulations. Next year's going to be a huge year. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Everybody's back here for the break.
Coming up, how will Trump's win impact the energy sector? Cramer talks the potential implications with the CEO of AEP. Next. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.